uniquely privileged to be beneath this cover whilst you're in the rain. I promise I'll join you in the rain again in a minute. I think it's important for us all to be here today because humanity is facing the greatest crisis in our history, and we're not going to solve this crisis unless it's treated as the emergency that it is. When we look at oncoming climate catastrophe, we need to be clear that it's the biggest example of the failures of free market fundamentalism in human history, because it's the drive for profit before all else that has brought us to this moment. It's the drive for profit above people and profit above planet which has brought us to the edge of climate catastrophe. And it's true that COP26 has been a failure. It's true that there's been so much greenwashing. It's true that what's been proposed, especially by leaders in the global north, is completely inadequate with the task ahead of us. And we need to spell out what the consequences are of that. We're talking about vast swathes of the globe becoming uninhabitable for human beings, and of course the destruction of so many more animal species. We're talking about water becoming scarce in many parts of the globe. We're talking about increased refugee crises of hundreds of millions of people fleeing conditions that are simply uninhabitable. We're talking about tens of millions and more deaths. We're talking about misery. We're talking about the end of life as we know it, as it is. So given that's the scale of the crisis, what are we going to do about it? We certainly can't support the continuation of the fossil fuel industry. That needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. It's not like they've only just worked this out. They've been aware of this for a long time, and yet still they press on with new oil fields. Still they press on with a new coal mine. Still they find excuses to put short-term economic gain for those at the very top above the whole of humanity and the whole of the globe. That's the truth of the matter. But actually this is an opportunity as well. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not inevitable that we're going to get the increase in temperature of over 1.5 degrees. There are opportunities as well. Opportunities for a different way of doing things. Opportunities for decent, environmentally friendly, publicly owned public transport, affordable for all. Opportunities of millions of well-paid, green, trade unionised jobs to replace all those manufacturing jobs that have gone or have been exported. There's an opportunity and a necessity to change the way we run our society, away from a model which puts the profits of the 1% globally and in this country first, and towards a model which puts people and planet first. But if we don't do this, if we don't achieve that, if we let them stop us, then the consequences are simply horrific. The consequences are beyond life-changing. The consequences are world-changing. So I want to congratulate you for being part of this mass movement against climate catastrophe, this mass movement for the positive action that's needed. It's the greatest challenge in human history, but I believe that a mass movement can meet that challenge and force those in power to do what's necessary. Thank you very much.